Alrighty, good morning everyone, and thank you for joining the call today. My name is Chinmay Bhavani Shankar, and I'm part of the US Partner Experience team. Today we will be talking about how you can go about activating your internal use rights benefit. With me today are members of the MPN support team, and the way this call is going to work is I will be presenting some of the slides. We will go over the knowledge base articles that we have available to you, and I will act as the partner or go ask questions to the MPN support team from a partner perspective and just make sure that I am covering all the steps properly. To go over the agenda really quickly, we'll do a quick internal use rights overview about the licenses and the resources, the generic resources that you have. We'll then go through a product-specific activation steps. So I will go through Azure and Office 365, the knowledge base articles for each one of them and how to activate it in detail. For Dynamics CRM Online and Enterprise Mobility Suite, I will show you the resources, but we might not have time to go through the entire article and go through all the steps. We'll then go through some other resources and announcements, and then I'll open it up to Q&A. So that's how the call is going to be structured today. Internal use rights is a cloud services and on-premises software benefit in the Microsoft Partner Network for Microsoft Action Pack subscribers and partners with a silver or gold competency. This is why I asked how many of you on the call are network members versus Action Pack or competency partners, because you will have access to internal use licenses only if you're an Action Pack subscriber or a silver or gold competency partner. Microsoft offers internal use licenses to its latest software and cloud services, giving you, our partners, the opportunity to use them in your business and experience it for yourself. Now, why should you use your internal use rights? One, you're already paying for it if you're an Action Pack subscriber or a competency partner. But Microsoft research also indicates that partners that use their IUR benefit sell 3 times larger deal sizes than partners that don't use their IUR benefit. Now, sales enablement aside, here are 4 other reasons to activate and use your benefit. 1, you can get first-hand knowledge of features and capabilities. 2, you can perform internal development and testing on latest technology. 3, you can reduce the cost of running your internal business. And 4, you can increase productivity of your internal teams. You can get a snapshot of your internal use rights benefit eligibility and consumption in your partner summary report. Now, some general resources before we move on to the product-specific IUR resources. The internal use rights site is a comprehensive website that tells you how to activate your benefits. It has some valuable guides, including the frequently asked questions guide, where questions like, can partners share licenses earned between locations? How can my organization qualify to purchase an additional benefit toolkit? What is the difference between a product key and a token? All these questions are answered in this guide that is available to you on the internal use rights site. So if you go to the site, make sure that you kind of go through the frequently asked questions document and have that guide at hand when you're trying to activate your internal use rights benefit. You can also download your benefit. So in order to download your benefit, you'll have to go to Activate IUR, the link that's on the screen. And partner summary report. Again, this was part of the poll question because a lot of partners don't know that they can see how many internal use rights they've used or what they're eligible for. Like, where is the one place that you can see everything? So you can go to the partner summary report by signing onto the portal and then clicking on membership. From membership, you can go to accounts and reports, and from there you go to the partner summary report. Now, This report not only tells you your internal use rights consumption, but also tells you what your cloud consumption looks like, what competencies you have or you're in progress to attaining, and what your profile is, like how you show up on the Microsoft end and when your anniversary date is. Again, for competency or action pack subscription renewals, you need to know your anniversary date. And the partner summary report is the one place that has everything in it. You will get a copy of the presentation, Stephen, after the call. It will also be posted on the MPN 101 Yammer group. Now let's move on to Azure. This is the first one that we're going to tackle. So the most common Azure scenarios, again, would be storage and backup, virtual machines, and creating custom websites. I won't go into detail, but these common scenarios address some customer pain points like data growth, data management, and backup issues for backup and storage. Customers also have payment issues, so paying for more capacity than it's used or capital expenses. They have difficulties with provisioning and configuration, which is where you can use virtual machines. And the third pain point would be limited data center capacity, or high infrastructure costs. So that's a pain point that Azure addresses by custom websites. So again, these are the common scenarios that you can use Azure for, and you can play around with Azure by activating your internal use license. Now, what Azure internal use rights do you get based on your membership? So for Action Pack subscription, you get $100 Azure monthly credit. So every month you get $100 credit to use Azure. And for competency, so for cloud platform competency, and before I even jump into cloud platform, for all competencies, the core benefit is that for silver competency, you get $100 monthly credit. And for gold, you get also $100 monthly credit. So that's the core benefit that you get. In addition to that, if you have a cloud platform competency, you get a bulk credit of $6,000 of Azure if you're a silver cloud platform competency holder, and you get a bulk credit of $12,000 for Azure if you're a gold cloud platform competency holder. We also have an offer going on for you to help you activate your Azure internal use rights. So Skycake, Microsoft has partnered with Skycake to give you free use of the Skycake Cloud Backup for Office 365 and for Azure specifically using your Azure internal use rights. So this offer is valid until June 30th, 2016. It gives you free use of Skycake Cloud Backup. It's really fast and it has one-click restore and unlimited backup of your Exchange, SharePoint, or OneDrive. And of course, you get 24-hour Skycake support as well, in addition to Microsoft Partner Network support. And it's a great way to build additional revenue and margins for your cloud practice. In addition to this, you can go get information about this offer at skycake.com/AzureIUR. But in the deck that I will post, there will be step-by-step instructions on how you can use Skycake as well. So again, end of this month is when this offer is valid until, so make sure you make use of it if you still haven't activated your internal use rights. Now we get to the knowledge base article, which I'll be walking you through. So if you go to the link here, the support team has put together some fabulous articles that take you through step by step on how to activate your internal use right licenses, and it has screenshots. And instead of actually going to the article and kind of switching over to a browser. I just did some screenshots and pasted them in here. So if the quality isn't the greatest, just bear with me. If you actually go to the article, it is pretty clear on there. So the first step is to go to the Microsoft Partner Digital Download Portal, and then you'll sign in with the Microsoft account, which is formerly your Windows Live ID. And this account has to be associated with the Microsoft Partner Network membership and is currently assigned administrator rights. Now, can anyone on the support team kind of just jump in to say, if I'm not, how do I know if I'm assigned the administrator or not?
You would basically know that you have an admin rights as soon as you log into your partner account. An individual who doesn't have a rights normally can only view its individual profile, while an individual who has an administrator right should have the options to go through their digital download portal. There are a lot of tabs that you would see on your partner account as soon as you logged in. Unlike a regular individual who's associated to an organization, they will only see the home page and their individual profile.
Gotcha. Thank you, John. Thank you for pitching in. The follow-up question I had for that is, say I'm not the administrator and I can't see anything that I want to do. I can't see the download keys or the download button. How would I go about finding out who my administrator is? Maybe someone already kind of activated my account for my organization in the past and I just don't know who that is.
You can, on your individual profile, you can go to the homepage. There you can see the primary program contact. That individual should be able to provide you with the specific rights or role that you need to access your digital download portal.
Perfect, thank you. And also, when you go through these steps, on step 3, when you're looking at Microsoft Online Services section, even at the bottom it says contact your, or get permissions or contact your primary program contact. So that's another way, I guess, is that right, to kind of contact your administrator so that you can get those rights?
Yes.
Let's say all of that fails, then would I be able to call support to kind of guide me through the next steps for that?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay. And what do I need to have in hand when I call support?
You would need your partner ID. We have to verify your information, such as your email address, and that's basically it. If you are an individual who doesn't have a rights, normally we would have to call your primary program contact so we can get permission to assign you with those specific rights. Or if the primary program contact is not available, you can send us an email copying that individual so they can respond to our request of granting the individual access to the digital download portal.
Fabulous, thank you. So moving on, so that was step 3, where I actually select the Microsoft Online Services section, given that I am the administrator. So step 4 would be to select the product. So in the product line, in the list of products, I will be selecting Microsoft Azure. And from there, on the Obtain Cloud Benefits page, I'll click on the Special Instructions link. And under Microsoft Azure Benefit Entitlement, I'll click on Activate the Benefit. Now, question for the support team here, when I click on Activate the Benefit, how do I know whether this, I'm activating, so there is Maps and Silver Core in the screenshot here. So it depends on my membership, correct? Like, whether I'm getting the core benefit or the additional benefit for a cloud platform competency. Will I have to activate both of them separately?
Yes, we actually require our partners to activate uh, both internal use right, both benefits, and we ask them to use two separate email addresses to make sure that they will not encounter any problem with their subscription.
Okay, so if I had, thank you, Arnold. If I had a competency and a core benefit, then you would ask me to use separate email IDs for both of them. I won't be able to combine the two.
No, you will not be able to combine the two email addresses. As per our resources, we are really advising our partners to use two different email addresses for both benefits.
Thank you. So the next step, if you still haven't created an account, would be to create an account. So you'll complete the sign up page by filling in the required fields, and payment information is required, but you will not be charged without your consent. So if you reach the limit of your monthly internal use rights benefit, you will be notified before any charges are applied. Now, the support team, I understand that there is a way that I can say I can ask to be charged and not have my I guess services broken up because of the payment, correct?
Yes, that's right. So once you have consumed all your Azure benefit for the month, you will get a notification wherein you will provide your consent that you would like to get charged for the additional Azure that you'll be using.
Okay. And once, so let's say I'm using my Azure internal use rights for something and I don't want that to stop. So when I hit the $100 limit, I don't want my service to be discontinued or stopped for any reason. Can I select, like since I've given my credit card account, can I select an option where it says just charge me, the service is more important for me?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
but
we'll
then
have
once
that
I
option.
select that, I won't be able to unselect that, correct?
For that, we're not actually sure what's the process after that. So we ask our partners to create a ticket for on the Azure portal in order for them to process that request.
Okay. So I guess the main point here is that you will not be charged without your consent. So once you have the
That's right.
$100 worth and you've actually used all of that, you will not be charged. The credit card information is in case you want to increase that limit or keep paying and not lose the service.
That's correct.
Thank you. And so that was step 7 once you sign up. And then there's also, so I guess that's when you have activated your internal use rights license for Azure. So the next step, I think you can look at this support article where it's clearer and not on this PowerPoint deck where it's just a screenshot. But there's also a video that addresses these exact steps on how to activate it. I think it's just about 10 minutes long. So it kind of walks you through those steps. And there are additional resources all given on that one support article. So right after this call, if you have a half hour, just go through all the support article or the video and then activate it. And taking this one step further, our partner technical pre-sales team has come up with a set of trainings where you can figure out how to use that Azure benefit. So I'm just walking you through plain activation. So this is when you're kind of going in and saying, yes, I can use this Azure, but what do you use your Azure internal use rights licenses for? So that's where you can go to the Grow and Manage Your Business with Azure IUR. That landing page has a list of trainings that the technical pre-sales and technical services team has put together to kind of walk you through what you can use your benefits for. Coming back, this slide is about all the additional resources that you have. We already went through the knowledge base article, which you saw was short and sweet and gave you the screenshots that you needed. There is also blog posts that talk about utilizing all of your Azure benefits. So there is a 3-part blog post where you can look at the benefits and options, what your benefits are as a competency partner, and then what is your signature cloud support benefit. So lots of things to do, lots of resources for you. Hopefully this kind of covers the Azure part of the internal use right license. Before we move on to the next section for Office 365, do you have any questions that we can address right now? All right. So for Office 365, here's the breakdown, if you will, of the internal use right licenses that you get according to your membership. So for Microsoft Action Pack, you get 5 seats initially, and you get 5 additional seats when you've sold at least 25 seats of Office 365. So on Action Pack, you get 5 seats, but then you can get up to 10 seats depending on what your sales performance looks like. For competency, if you are a silver small and mid-market cloud solutions competency holder, then you get 10 seats in addition, 10 seats of E3 and 25 seats of E3 for silver and gold. Now, if you go to the last row, the other competency section, so that is your core benefit. Regardless of what competency you have, you will get 25 seats of Office 365 E3 for a silver competency and 100 seats of Office 365 E3 for gold competency. So that is your core benefit. The competency-specific ones are incremental. So for small and mid-market cloud solutions, just as I said, you get 10 additional seats for silver, 25 for gold. For cloud productivity and communications, recently we announced the availability of Office 365 E5. So in addition to the core benefit, which is 25 on 100 seats of E3, you get 25 seats of E5 for silver and 100 seats of E5. Again, incremental for gold for cloud productivity and communications competencies only. Now, similar to Azure, we've partnered up with Skykick again to give you the free use of their migration suites to deploy your business to Office 365. Again, this offer is also available until June 30th, 2016, and it's free up to 500 seats. If you visit their website, they'll walk you through the steps. It's pretty simple. It's, again, an offer that's free for all Microsoft partners. You need your MPN ID, and the activation is done for you in a matter of minutes. So make sure you use this offer before June 30th, 2016. Now, let's walk through activation and assigning Office 365 internal use right licenses. Again, if you go through the actual link to the support article, it'll be a lot clearer. These are screenshots that are copied and pasted. So step 1 for this, again, the first few steps are the same as we went through Azure. You go to the Partner Digital Download portal, you sign in with your Microsoft account, which is associated with your partner account, right, with your MPN ID. You'll select the Microsoft Online Services section. You can grant privileges to additional people that are associated with your company's account if you are the primary program contact. And if you are not, then you can figure out what your permissions are and you can get your administrator's contact information. Bottom line, you have to be the primary program contact in order to activate your internal use right license. So in this one, so step 4, after the first 3 steps of like logging in, step 4 would be to click on Microsoft Office 365 instead of Azure. We went through Azure last time, and this time we'll look at Office 365. So step 5 on this is to expand to view the product keys applicable to your program membership. So when you expand it, again, you might have action pack, you might have competencies, and you'll have incremental additional ones, so you can see which ones you've earned. So in this particular screenshot, it says you've earned the following IUR benefit based on your participation in MPN. So it has action pack and it has additional seats through sales. So you can expand that to actually see how much you had. So when you expand it, you will see the token code, which is the 25-digit token code. So copy that before you go to the next step, because you'll need that information. Now, a question for the MPN support team here. I have a token and there's an expiration date. Is there a chance that I'll see multiple tokens with different expiration dates?
Yes, sometimes the expiration date for a token is different. One of the scenarios is when a partner has subscribed to an action pack, that will have a separate expiration date, and then when they have attained their additional seats through sales, that will have a different expiration date aside from the token that they have attained from the core benefit.
Okay. What is there also a chance that I'll have expiration dates from like my previous year of membership? So with like, because every year it's a different token code, correct? As I renew?
Yes,
Yes,
that is correct. Each time you renew, you get a new set of token keys that you can use to renew your online subscription as well.
Okay, so if this is the first time that I'm activating this, I should probably use the token code that has the latest expiration date, correct?
Yes, that is right.
Okay, thank you. Again, these things might seem simple, but I know there is a lot of confusion around that, so I just want to clarify that. If you have additional questions, please type them in and I'll ask them to the support team. So once you copy the token code, you can then select the link at the bottom of the page, again in the special instructions area, and navigate to Office 365 key redemption portal. So it's a different portal. It's not through the Microsoft Partner Portal, but you need the token code for that. Moving on to the next step. Once you have the token code, if you're an existing partner and you want to activate your Office 365 product key on your existing online tenant, please sign in before you activate your Office 365 product key. So each product key may be activated only once, and once it's been activated, they cannot be moved to another online tenant. So one of the things that we see is that if you're working with a customer, you sign in with your customer's Office 365 account, and then you're activating it through them, and it's not for you. So again, internal use rights are for partner use only. So if you're working on a customer account, make sure that you're not activating it on a customer account and on your own account, because as it said before, that you cannot move it from one online tenant to another.
We need some more.
So the next step, again, if you have any questions, please do let me know. The next step is to activate an Office 365 product key on a newly created online tenant. You can click the checkbox and click Start. So if you don't already have an Office 365 account, this is how you will be kind of creating your Office 365 account as well as using the product key for that account. So then you'll take the 25-digit token code that you copied from the previous step and you'll paste it in the product key. And it'll ask you if everything looks right, if you're done adding product keys. Now, question to the support team, can I add multiple product keys here?
Yes, you can add multiple product keys, even if it's not for, let's say you're activating Office 365. You can add a different product key, like let's say for the Enterprise Mobility Suite, and it's gonna activate, the system will activate both IURs at the same time.
Ah, gotcha. But for Office 365 itself, if I have multiple product keys, can I add them both on here?
Yes, yes, you can add them both.
Gotcha. Thank you. So again, the next steps that are listed here is if you don't already have a user ID. So you just enter your information to actually create a user ID and go forward with that. And you get started with Office 365. So that step 13 kind of is the end of you activating your Office 365 internal use right license. The slide or the screenshot on the right talks about adding a new user and assigning an Office 365 license to the new user. So in the Admin Center, in the Active Users part, you can click on the plus sign, which is the Add User button, and add as many people as you want using these licenses or that have access to these licenses. Again, if you go to the support article, it is listed there clearly. In the same way as for Azure, there is a video that talks about how to activate your Office 365 license. There are also additional resources that are listed on the knowledge base article itself. So there's another article that you might want to look into, which talks about how do you earn Office 365 IUR benefit through the Partner Network program. I already walked you through that in terms of membership, right? So for Action Pack, you get 5 and you can earn 5 additional. If that's not clear to you yet, you can go back and read this if you'd like. There's also a blog post that you might want to look into. So if you're also curious about Fast Track for Office 365, there's an overview call in an article that you can kind of go through with that link. Again, similar to Azure, I just talked to you right now about activating your Office 365 internal use right licenses, but how do you go about consuming more? What is a creative method of like using Office 365 internal use right licenses? You can get to that detail. That's kind of the next step with the series of calls that our technical services team has put together. So if you go to grow and manage your business with Office 365, you'll get that additional detail. And reiterating the 2 Skykick offers that we have, which will be ending June 30th, 2016. So you can use your Azure IUR to get free backup, or you can use Office 365 for easy automated migration. Moving on to Microsoft Dynamics CRM Online Professional. So for Action Pack subscription, so that for that membership, you only get 0, you don't get any seats. You get 0 seats initially, but you get 5 seats when you sell 50 seats of Office 365 or 5 seats of CRM Online. If you are an Action Pack subscriber and you really want Dynamics CRM Online and you have a valid business use for it, since you're on this call, if you want to send me a message on Yammer, we can see if we can make that happen as well. So for competency, if you have a CRM competency, so again, if you go to the very bottom, the core benefit is that you get 15 seats of CRM online for silver competency and 60 seats for gold. So that is regardless of what competency you have. In addition to that, incrementally for the CRM competency, you get 10 seats for gold or for silver and 20 seats for gold. This is in addition. And for cloud CRM competency, you get 20 incremental seats for silver and 40 incremental seats for gold. Now, I'll talk about this more later, but the CRM competency is being retired as MPN is evolving. So I'll talk about this afterwards, but just please keep that in mind. If you do have a CRM competency, if you're working towards a CRM competency, look for the MPN evolution announcement that happened on April 12th. And I'll get to that soon, but just something to keep in mind. I apologize for the headline on this, but the link is the right one. You can look at the CRM Online activation link. I won't be going through the entire article. The link should take you to the article and you'll look through the steps, and it has the same screenshots to walk you through how you'll be activating the CRM Online internal use right licenses. So for also some additional resources that you have are also listed here. So how do you get started and what's new with CRM Online 2016? And again, the technical team has put together like a 201. So if this is a 101 of activation, how do you take that second step of using CRM Online for your business and make that work for you? Enterprise Mobility Suite. So kind of combining that with Azure AD Basic. So if you have an Action Pack subscription, you get 5 seats of EMS and AADB on Azure AD Basic. I'm sorry about the acronyms. I try not to use as many, but here it might be a mouthful if I keep saying that over and over again. So for competency, for devices and deployment, you get about 50 incremental seats and 100 incremental seats for silver and gold, respectively. For enterprise mobility management, which is a relatively new competency that we've added, again, you get 50 and 100 as well. The core benefit is that you get 25 seats for silver and 100 seats for gold. And again, you can go to the knowledge base article, look at the step-by-step screenshots again. I will not be walking you through all of that. You know the drill now from the last 2 articles that I walked you through. It talks to you about how you'll have to sign up. It'll take you through all the steps. There's also an additional video just for Enterprise Mobility Suite, and you'll have additional resources. And of course, if you want to take that additional step of how do you use that now that you've activated it, you can go to the Grow and Manage Your Business landing page that's listed here. Additionally, you also have, you can engage with the technical and business communities. So everyone engages with Microsoft differently depending on how much time you have. So you can either read the blog series, you can jump on the community calls, you can take a training, or you can join the Yammer group and just ask your questions. So there is a Yammer group for each one of these product verticals specifically. So for Azure, for data and analytics, enterprise mobility, Office 365, for Windows, you have so many avenues to get your information. Pick one that works best for you and stay updated on that. And this slide kind of brings all those resources together for you. So now we're kind of moving into the additional announcements section. If you had any questions specific to IUR activation right now, please do let me know. At the end of the call, there will be a survey where you can put in your MPN ID and your phone number, and one of our support teams will actually call you back. If you have like IUR activation specific questions, we'll walk you through that because you've been on this call, you made the investment to jump on this call, and if I don't get to any of your questions. So for competency renewal, now I did mention earlier that some of the competencies are retiring. So on April 12th, there was an announcement that was made that 12 competencies are retiring. And this will only affect you if you already have a competency, or if you already have one of the 12 competencies, or if you're working towards one of those competencies. So if your anniversary date is between now and October 30th, 2016, and you have one of these 12 competencies, which is volume licensing, learning, distributor, digital advertising, mid-market solution provider, OEM, devices and deployment, software asset management, identity and access, intelligent systems, hosting, or customer relationship management. If your anniversary date is between now and October 30th, you can still meet the current requirements and renew before October 30th, and you have that competency for another year. So this kind of buys you time for another year, so you don't have to panic and try and get another competency right away. If your anniversary date is between October 30th and January 28th, you still have the ability to renew. Whether you renew or not is up to you. You still have the ability to renew to kind of buy yourself a year. But if your anniversary date is after January 28th, 2017, and you have one of these 12 competencies, please know that you will not be able to renew your competency. So you'll be losing some of those benefits unless you get another competency to kind of make up for it. So you can get additional information on mpnevolution.com. It walks you through the different scenarios depending on what competency you have. It's a handy-dandy tool, and you can read the official announcement as well. The modern Microsoft Partner eBook series for profitability. This is, again, based on our latest research. We have 3 parts of this ebook series that are already out. One about the cloud opportunity, about how to differentiate your business, and about modernizing sales and marketing. Great resources. If you have some time to look through it, you can kind of download the books, and if you're traveling, it'll be good reading. And other announcements for any upcoming partner calls or in-person events. Please go to the hot sheet. That's your one place for the next, we keep updating it to include events that's coming up in the next 2 months. So it gives you like a 8-week insight into what's coming. So you can plan your months accordingly. The next, I do a new partner orientation call, which is just the basics of what the Microsoft Partner Network is about. That's happening August 17th at 9:30 Pacific time. The call before that actually is the Worldwide Partner Conference call. There's a Know Before You Go logistics call that's happening June 15th at 9:30 Pacific time. And again, there's some suggested reading. There are a few blog posts about MPN 101, like the 3 things we recommend for every US partner. And if you're renewing your competency, what are your tips? And again, you're already on this call, but activate your internal use rights benefit. The Worldwide Partner Conference is in Toronto, Canada this year. If you haven't registered already, please do. It's a fabulous experience, and it'll be quite the trip since it's in Toronto. You can stay engaged with us by reading our blog or joining the Yammer group and following us on Twitter. I will be there, and so will most of our Microsoft partner team. So it's a good opportunity for you to meet them, hear from our executives about what we have planned for the partner business coming up in the future. There's been a lot of information, so this is the one slide if you want to take away, which has all these links put together in one. How to stay engaged with the partner community, what are the training options, what resources do I have for profitability, and hot ticket item support. So everything in one slide. So if you want to print this out and put it somewhere, or just make this your desktop background like I do, you could do that. Folks, that is it for now. I haven't seen very many questions. I'll leave it open for a couple more minutes for questions. There will be a 2-question survey right after this that will pop in your window. So make sure you just answer those questions so that I know whether this call was useful or not. If you have any questions, let me know. If not, we'll give you a few minutes back on your calendar. Simon, you had a question on accessing IUR. You have a colleague who's associated with your company but can't access the downloads page. So again, as we talked about earlier, you'll have to do the primary program contact. We'll have to give them access or give them the rights to access the downloads page. If you still have questions with your partner ID, if you can give us your contact number, that would be great, and we'll have someone contact you. The support article also walks through that, but we'll have someone from the support team contact you as well. All right, folks, thank you so much. Again, there will be a short survey. Please make sure you take that. I appreciate you jumping on the call. Have a great rest of the week.